Hi you guys, my name is Precious Omphithetse and welcome to my channel. I just want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who watched my first video. We were talking about to be impressive or to be impactful, and I don't know if the reception was good or not. I haven't really checked out the views or the comments or anything, but I do know that I wasn't getting notifications for the comments, which is totally fine. But if you haven't watched that video and you're watching this, please go check it out first, because we are going to be making a lot of reference to it. So on that video we talked about being impressive or being impactful, and I did say on that video that I want to be impactful and I'm choosing to be impactful this year, right? So the question might be, why are you choosing to be impactful now? Like, why now after all these years? Why are you choosing to be impactful now? Now on this video we're going to get into the reasons why it took long for me to finally decide that I'm going to be impactful and why it had to be this year. So let's get into the video. So as I was trying to navigate the being impactful thing, I always wanted to be an impactful person because of the things that I've learned over the years and my experiences and learning from other people's experiences as well. But I also realized that in my journey to self-love, remember on that video we talked about self-love and the journey, and we said that the first step was accepting ourselves. So for me, I had to accept myself and accept my flaws and all of that. And in accepting myself, I realized that there's this one element that I keep on ignoring, or that I keep on going around, you know what I mean, because I don't know. So I realized that actually I always ruin every opportunity of being happy. I always ruin every opportunity of being impactful. I always ruin every opportunity of being surrounded by good people, you know what I mean, because I sabotage myself, because I self-harm, because I self-hate basically. So I wanted to talk about this earlier this week. I wanted to record the video but I couldn't, and then I decided to record it on Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know, one of those days, and then I think the lighting was off. But I also realized that there's a reason as to why that video wasn't supposed to be the video that I post, because I believe God works in a mysterious way. So obviously he was trying to tell me something, and I realized on that video that there's probably something missing, right? So I prayed about it last night, that God guide me and show me what I should be talking about or what I should look into, because I realized that something is just off. Something is not nice here, right? So I got on YouTube this morning and I saw a video by Brinny Lee. If you guys don't know Brinny Lee, she's a YouTuber from, I think, London, I'm not sure. So she talked about this very much topic that we're going to talk about, which is self-sabotage. So she explained it so well that I realized that, okay, she's actually right. What I said in that video was more related to what she was saying, but I also realized that I have my own belief. Of course she does as well, but I did say something at the end that I feel like I shouldn't have said, because at the time, even though that's what I believed, but I also had to also realize that maybe I said it also because of my self-hate. I had to say it because it made sense at that point. I don't know if that makes sense. So I went on to Google to search what self-sabotage is, and the definition that they gave, I am going to read. It says, when there is a distraction behavior directed at yourself. It goes on to say, at first you may not even notice that you're doing it, but when negative habits consistently undermine your efforts, they can be considered a form of psychological self-harm. It also says that it is the deliberate destroy or damage or obstruct to something, right? So when I took this definition and looked at it from my life perspective, I realized that I was destroying every opportunity of, one, being happy, every opportunity of, two, being a part of something, a project or leadership or anything like that, three, destroying every little relationship that I could have been in, right? Not just, I'm not talking romantic, because I've never had an opportunity to do that, but I have, just that, you know what I'm saying. I've destroyed every opportunity of being in any kind of relationship that is either platonic or romantic, because okay, so here's why, right? Every time when I ruined all of these things, I always have a reason for it, right? And that is something we're going to discuss as we go with the video, right? So I had to find why I had those reasons. What was the root of me self-harming myself? What is the root of me destroying every little opportunity of being successful or being happy or doing what I actually want to do, right? So this is where the part where we discuss the causes of self-sabotage. So what caused my self-sabotage, right? 1, low self-esteem. I have always had low self-esteem because of the bullying that I endured, or just the life that I lived. Basically, not trying to say that I didn't grow up well. I was raised well, but there are certain things that happened, most importantly at school, and that is why I always hated school, because I was very much bullied at school. So that led to me having a low self-esteem. And there is something that happened also at school that I don't want to talk about that led to me having a low self-esteem. So when you have low self-esteem, you don't actually believe in yourself. You don't think that things are possible for you. You don't think that you deserve to be happy. You don't think that you deserve to have all the good things in your life, right? So you start sabotaging, you start ruining or destroying every little opportunity of you being happy or having those things, right? The second thing that I realized that caused my self-sabotage was negative self-talk. So as people, sometimes we do say negative things to ourselves. Sometimes we do say hurtful words to ourselves, and we don't realize how these hurtful words or these negative talks affect us. It's more of saying, for example, right? Let me give an example. I'm showing a friend someone that I have a crush on. I'm like, oh friend, this guy is so cute, and she's like, but friend, imagine if you had an opportunity to meet him and he gets to date you and he gets to like you. And I'm like, dog, have you seen me? Like, do you see me? Have you taken a look at me? So you start to realize that you say the negative things about yourself. You don't think you're beautiful. You don't think you're worthy enough for that person to actually look at you and think, damn, this person is beautiful, right? And it's not just about the romantic part of it. It's just like when I see an opportunity, for example, because I did say that I love acting in the media industry, I see an opportunity to go and audition in front of people, and someone sends me the poster, and the first thing I think of is,
do you really think I can do this? Because I don't think I can.
Do you know what I mean? It's always those little things that we say to ourselves that we think don't really affect us, but they do affect us, because now you're ruining those opportunities for yourselves, right? Also, in terms of when people give an example like, oh, you friends, you should be happy, this is that, like when you think of when people say positive things to you and you always turn them and make them negative somehow, right? Those things do lead to you sabotaging yourself, and they did lead to me sabotaging myself in so many other ways possible. The third thing that caused my self-sabotage was related to negative emotions. Now, I believe that I have my fair share of very, very bad experiences in life, and those have really led and took a toll on my mental health and my emotions in general. So I believe that I always had the negative emotions because I always remembered things that I've been through. I would remember that, oh, I've been hurt by so and so. I would remember that, oh, I've lost this in my life. So I always was overwhelmed or always had, sorry guys, my camera cut me when I was still saying that I always had negative emotions. So negative emotions always lead to negative thinking. So if someone has a positive thought and they share it with you in that moment, because you're already in a negative thinking process, already whatever they're saying, you're going to look at it from the negative side, right? So eventually it makes you to start destroying every little thing that is good or happy in your life, because already you're in a negative state of mind, right? So everything is negative. Also, I'd like to say, disclaimer, it's a little bit noisy because there are people talking outside my room and outside my window, so I hope you guys excuse me for that, right? So now, because all these things are causing my self-sabotage, you're probably wondering, but how did it really affect you, right? So those are the three main things that caused my self-sabotage. They're actually way more things that could cause you self-sabotage, some being self-doubt, and that could be one of them, but I really just want to talk about the main three that really affected me. Self-doubt also is another aspect that we can talk about, because a lot of us really doubt ourselves because we don't believe in ourselves, because we don't think we're capable of doing any good thing. We're not capable of being happy. We're not capable of having the good things that we might be, or as that might present themselves as an opportunity to us, and they might be good things. So we're really not believing that we are worthy of having those good things. So self-doubt is also another aspect. I saw an interview by Vusi Tembokwayo. I think he was also talking about this topic. I'll link it down below so you guys can also check it out, because I think he says more on self-doubt than I can ever say. So yes. Now, how did self-sabotage affect me? Number one, it eroded my self-confidence and self-esteem. Now, the little self-esteem and self-confidence that I probably might have had in the beginning is now it's slowly disappearing, or it's slowly being taken away by the fact that I'm always sabotaging myself, right? So I stopped believing in myself. I stopped thinking that I can. I stopped thinking that I'm capable of doing good things, or I'm capable of doing this. And the idea of doing good things or doing something is just impaired, because at that point you're not thinking of anything good, you're not thinking of anything positive, especially for yourself. It's so easy to think of positivity or positive things for other people, but not for yourself when you're in that state. So usually when you're in that state, you don't think of anything positive for yourself or anything good happening for you, because why? You're basically just harming yourself and your or opportunity of being happy. I'll keep saying the opportunity, because that is really what we're always destroying mostly, right? The second thing that had an effect, or how self-sabotage affected my life, was it affected my relationships. Now, relationships, let's start with the romantic part of it, because we're always talking about that. Our generation is always talking about romance. So how did self-sabotage affect my relationships, right? There are a lot of guys or a lot of girls, I'm just saying, who have tried to approach me and get to know me, and I always looked at them and thought, well, I always had to give excuses, and that is another reason we're going to talk about. So I always thought, I don't deserve this. Even when the people are too good to me, when the people are too nice to me, I always wonder why they're being too nice to me, or why they're being too good to me, because I don't really deserve seeing or having people be good to me. I don't deserve being in love. I don't even know what love is. I'm not even gonna lie, because I consistently don't believe that I deserve to be in that position. I enjoy watching couples on TV. I enjoy watching couples on YouTube. It's always really nice to watch people love each other, but I don't really understand what love is, or what they're doing to show that they love each other, whatever. So whenever they break up, for example, we saw the public breakups that were happening currently, I was very hurt, because I'm like, damn, because I look at love from them and I see it through them, and I think that is what they deserve. That they deserve to be happy, they deserve to love one another. But what about me? Don't I deserve it as well? The thing is, I never get to believe that I deserve it, because I don't think I deserve it, right? Because that is the self-sabotage. That is how it affects you, right? Because when there's this guy who presents himself to be a good person and he wants to get to know me, I always find a way to push them away, or stop talking to them, or block them, or ghost them, because I don't think I deserve having someone wanting to get to know me. I don't think I deserve having someone being interested in me in the first place, because
why are you interested in me? You're so weird. You know what I mean?
Okay, secondly, self-sabotage also affected my relationships in terms of friendships, right? Now, when it comes to friendships, I know that I've met people that were nice to me, that were good to me. There was a point in my life where I got into a depressive state, and that's when I started pushing people away. In that state on its own, I believed that I didn't deserve good things. I didn't deserve having good friends. I didn't deserve having people around me. So I would push people away, and I would stop talking to them. I'd give them bad attitude, because I wanted them to hate me and for them to leave me alone, so that I could be by myself, because I believed that they deserve better. And I know that people that I might have pushed away during that time, and I know for sure they probably think I'm a bad person. But yeah, I'm a bad person, girl. I was a bad person to you, and I really wanted them to leave me alone, because I wanted to be in a I don't know, in my own little corner. And it's not like they did anything wrong to me. It's just that in that moment, I didn't think I deserved to have people around me. I didn't think I deserved to have anyone around me. And there was someone that I tried to push away during that time, but she remained consistent and she's still there in my life, and I'm grateful for her. But during that time, it was very, very difficult for me to keep people around me, right? So it affected most of my friendships. So even now, when I have people who are good to me and try to be friends with me, I always find a way to like push them away. I always find a way to make them hate me or dislike me or see something that I don't like about myself, or something that even if I'm not that person, I just might as well pretend to be that person, so that this person doesn't think that I'm a good person, so that this person thinks that I'm a rude girl, so that this person thinks that I'm a BR, you know what I mean, so that they could leave me alone and I could be by myself. So that really affected so many of the friendships that I could have had in that situation. But also, I believe everything happens for a reason, which is why we're going to talk about this next. And then it also affected my family dynamics, because my family relationships, because I don't know, God, I don't know if this happens. Okay, this basically does happen to me. So I felt like whenever we have a happy moment in the family, it's like something bad has to happen. You know what I mean? It's like we're never always happy, because I think also this is something that I personally think we all suffer self-sabotage as a family. I don't want to speak on behalf of anyone, but I believe that it affects our family dynamic, because now we never really get happy. Like if it's happiness, we are happy for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. After that, it's always a fight. It's always something bad happening around. So whenever we meet as a family and I see us happy and having fun, I always know that there's something bad has to happen. If I'm having a conversation with a sibling and I feel like the conversation is fun, some way, somehow, one of us has to turn the conversation into something negative. So we end up fighting because of what we both did. And sometimes I'm taking responsibility. I sometimes do that a lot, because I don't believe that our family deserves to be happy, because we're always fighting, we're always having arguments. But at the end of the day, we all deserve to be happy. My family deserves to be a happy family, and I know families always fight, but at the end of the day, we all deserve to be happy as a family. And I think that, I don't want to speak on behalf of them, like I said, we all sabotage ourselves, and sabotaging ourselves ends up sabotaging our own family relationships as a result of, right? And yeah, the last thing that self-sabotage did to me was it made me to, I don't know how to explain this one, but I started having reasons for everything, right? I always say everything happens for a reason, but sometimes things don't just happen because of whatever reason I'm thinking of, but it happens because of me sabotaging myself. And indeed, everything happens for a reason, and one of the reasons why something would happen is because I'm sabotaging myself. So usually we always give out these reasons where, okay, I said no to him because I don't think he's like, he can handle me. I don't think he can support me in a way I want him to. And it's like, we always also give reasons like, oh, I cut her off because she's just too much, she's just this, she's always doing that. And you always find loopholes in what people did, and instead you don't look into yourself that maybe she's a good person, just that I'm the one who's thinking that this friendship, I don't deserve to be happy in this friendship, so I don't understand why we're happy in this relationship. Why is our friendship happy? Why is our friendship so good? Why are we not always fighting? So you start really ruining that relationship by doing so many things, and then you give reasons to it. So sometimes we ruin our opportunities and then we give reasons. For example, I remember this one time I had an opportunity to do something in front of big people and I didn't. Why? Because I felt like I wasn't ready, I was not prepared enough for me to do this. And it's like, you're giving that reason only because you didn't get to do it. But at the end of the day, you can never be ready for anything in life. Anything and everything can happen in any time of the day. I can literally get a phone call right now about something happy or sad or whatever. Anything can happen in a day, right? So whether or not me giving that reason that I wasn't ready or what I'm never ready for anything as a person, right? So we can never be ready for anything. So always giving those excuses is something that really affects me a lot, because I'm always giving excuses and reasons for everything. I'm always saying that it happened for a reason. I'm always saying it happened because she was this. I'm always saying it happened because and I'm never always going back to the fact that I am sabotaging myself or that I'm ruining it for myself. And that is one thing that we never realize, and that is why in the beginning, I'm gonna go back, I did say at first you may not even notice that you're doing it, but when negative habits consistently undermine your efforts, they can be considered a form of psychological self-harm. Oh yeah, you know what I mean. So now I've been working on trying to stop sabotaging myself, of which it's hard to stop, but let's not say stop, but prevent it from happening. So I've been working, and I did research, and I found things that I enjoyed doing or things that worked for me, and I don't know if they're going to work for you, but these are the things that worked for me, and that not really worked but are still working for me, because I'm in that journey. Like I said, it's a journey that we go through every single day, and I believe that as human beings we grow and we learn every single day, right? So the first thing that I did was recognize the habits that I did in harming or self-harming or self-destruct. Like I was saying, I'm so irritated. I'm so sorry. I don't know why they're making so much noise. But as I was saying that the first step I did was recognize my bad habits. The bad habits that I did were always being negative. When someone says something positive, I approach it with a negative mindset. When someone says something nice, I would always say it's nice for them and it's not nice for me. So it always led to, like, those are the habits that I had amongst others, and I had to recognize them. And the moment I recognize them, like you always say, when something happens in your life, the first step you need to do is analyze and recognize those things that you want to work on, right? The second thing I did was identify the root cause. So after I identified these habits, I would look back into it. Why am I always having this negative idea? I looked back into where it comes from, right? And then the moment you start looking at where it stems from or where it's coming from, that's when you get to realize, okay, this is what's happening. So this is what's happening, you know what I mean? So I looked into why I always have negative thoughts, and I realized that, okay, I always have negative thoughts about myself because self-doubt, because I don't think I can do it, you know what I mean? Because after thinking I cannot do it, why can't I not do it? Then I realized because I don't have self-confidence, because I'm not confident in myself, because I'm not confident in my capabilities as a person, right? Just an example. I took time to self-reflect. So as I take time to self-reflect, that's when I started accepting and understanding what is going on. Because now I've recognized my habits, I have we found the root cause of them. Now I am self-reflecting. As I self-reflect, this is where the part where now I'm understanding and I am accepting that these things are happening to me. Remember, I'm already in the process of self-acceptance, so accepting has already happened above there. Like, I'm accepting that I do sabotage myself. I understand what self-sabotage is, but now in terms of self-reflection, I'm starting to see how this self-sabotage is affecting me, what causes it, what are the root causes of it. And then that's when I start reflecting, and I'm starting to write down on my journal. I used to write down on my journal to understand why exactly am I saying this. Just that my journal is way too far and I can't, I'd have to open pages to find those days where I was really self-reflecting, so bear with me. So I'd always self-reflect and look back and realize that, okay, cool, I did this at that time because of this. Now I take every activity that I've done before. For example, cut off a friend, right? I'll look at why I cut off this person. What did this person do? What did I do? Why did I think they're not good to be friends with me anymore? What really happened? You know what I mean? I take it down, I break it down, and I did at some point realize certain things that I did that I didn't like, right? Certain things that I did that caused that friendship to end, and that is when I started to reflect on those decisions and the habits that I did, right? So the next thing after you self-reflect I did was change the habits. So after I realized why certain friendships ended, why certain things happened to me, I started realizing that, okay, cool, because these are the habits that I did to end so many relationships, to destroy the opportunities that I had. Now, how can I change these activities and these habits, right? So the moment you start thinking of, okay, cool, when I have a negative idea, let me think of it in a positive way. For example, what if you don't succeed in life? Instead of saying that, make it, what if I succeed in life, right? So I started doing that consistently in order for me to be in a positive state of mind. If right now I'm thinking of, what if I get into a car accident while I'm driving, or what if my brain just blacks out while I'm driving, instead of that, think of, okay, I'm going to arrive home safely. That's something positive. Why not make it positive, right? So I started doing that. I started changing those negative habits, started changing the way I look at things, and started making them a little bit more positive, right? That's what I did. So the last thing I did was set goals and make plans. So in setting goals and making plans, I set goals that got me to be more positive, right? For example, I set a goal of creating this channel because this year, I actually did set the goal last year. but I didn't start it, not last year, 2020. I had it on my vision board since 2020. The YouTube thing was on my board since 2020, 2021, not really 2020 because I created the channel in 2019. So I already had the idea or the desire to have a channel, but I created it. But I didn't create content, right? So in 2020, I decided at the beginning of the year, I was like, let me put this on my vision board. I'm going to start uploading things on my channel because that is what I want to do. I want to say something. I don't know what I want to say at that point. So 2020 became a year where I was really self-reflecting more and getting into the journey of self-love and finding what I love and what my niche is. And if I'm going to do this YouTube thing, what is the reason? Like, what am I going to post? What am I going to talk about? What is literally my niche when it comes to having a YouTube channel, right? So I did set up a goal that I'm going to create this channel, and I didn't do it. 2021, I did the same thing. I didn't do it. 2022, I just woke up in the morning and I said, you know what? That word. I said that word, and I just created the vlog channel. I started uploading videos on the vlog channel on the 13th, I think, of Feb, and from then my vlog channel kind of motivated me to finally post stuff on this channel, the original channel that I started in 2019. And I long had ideas because in 2021, last year around this time, I think my YouTube idea document is dated 02/03/21, which means I wrote my YouTube ideas on the 2nd of March 2021. And people who know me know what happened on the 2nd of March in 2005. So I don't know why. It probably was a coincidence. I don't know. But everything happens for a reason, so it was probably not a coincidence. But I guess on that day, that's when I decided that, you know what, actually I want to talk about these topics. And the first thing I put up on my ideas was to be impactful or to be impressive, because I was starting to realize that I'm mostly an impressive person. I'm always trying to impress people and not be impactful in their lives. And the second thing I put was self-sabotage, because I realized that the one thing that is not defeating my purpose, but like the one that's stopping me from fulfilling what I want to do with my life is self-sabotage, because I keep sabotaging myself. Now, I just want to say to you guys, whenever you start having these negative ideas or have so much negative emotions or low self-esteem, please try to be positive to yourself. Please start believing that you are capable. Please start believing that you're worth it and you can do it. And like Nike says, what does Nike say? Guys, what does Nike say? Yeah, that thing that Nike says. I'm gonna say that to you. So from now on, when you start having negative ideas or negative thoughts, think of what the Nike slogan says. It's still not coming to my mind. I don't know, but I know it's a positive thing. Wait, is it you can do it? Yeah, the Nike slogan. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. Tell me down below what you think about self-sabotage. What are you doing to, if you have it, I'm not saying we all have it, but if you think you're sabotaging yourself as well, what are you doing to stop it or to prevent it from happening? And please share the video with your friends, family, and those you think deserve to hear the video. Thank you.